So you live in Chula Vista, you've got a dog, and you want to build a fantastic life together. Well, you're in the right place. We're going to break down exactly how to find the perfect professional for you and your best friend, so every single day with them is just better. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll picture what success looks like right here in town. Then, we'll talk about what to look for in a trainer, the different kinds of programs and what they cost, the key questions you need to ask, and we'll wrap up with some local rules and great spots to practice. All right, let's start with the end goal in mind. What does a well-trained dog actually mean for you living here in Chula Vista? Because it's about so much more than just sitting and staying in your living room. It's about being confident out in the real world. I mean, just imagine it. Strolling down 3rd Avenue without your arm being pulled out of its socket. Or maybe you're at Otay Wrench Town Center and your dog is just chilling by your side, completely relaxed. How about a bike ride on the Silver Strand where your dog isn't lunging at every person who passes? That peaceful reality, that's what good training can give you. So how do you get there? It all starts with a trainer. You've got to find a professional who uses modern, humane methods that actually work. So let's take a look at what that really means. The term you're going to hear over and over is positive reinforcement. And all it really means is focusing on rewarding the behaviors you want to see instead of punishing the ones you don't. Think of it like this. It teaches your dog to think, what can I do to earn that treat or that praise? It's not just about being nice, it's about building a partnership. Your dog learns to work with you because they want to, not because they're afraid of what happens if they don't. That makes all the difference. Okay, so this can look a little like alphabet soup, right? But these letters are your friend. They're a quick way to know a trainer has invested in their education and passed some serious exams. For everyday skills, look for things like KPA or CPDT. But if you're dealing with bigger issues like serious fear or reactivity, a certification from the IAABC or a CBCCKA tells you you're talking to a specialist. Okay, let's get down to the practical stuff. We need to figure out what kind of training program makes sense for your dog, your schedule, and of course, your wallet. For the most part, you're looking at 2 main options: group classes or private lessons. Group classes are great. They're usually cheaper, and your dog gets to practice around other dogs and people. The downside is you get less personal attention. Now, private lessons are all about you. They're perfect if you need to work on something specific that happens at home, like barking at the doorbell. They just cost a bit more. So what should you budget for? Here's a quick look at typical costs around Chula Vista for 2025. As you can see, a group class that runs for several weeks is probably going to be in the couple $100 range. A single private lesson will likely be somewhere between $120 and $200. Then you have those intensive board and train programs, which are a much bigger investment, often running into the thousands. This should give you a good ballpark idea. All right, so you know what methods to look for, you know the different types of programs, and you have an idea of the cost. You're ready to start talking to trainers. But what do you ask them? You know, this is the most important part. How can you be sure a trainer is the right one for your dog and your family? It's about more than just their resume. It's about the connection and whether their plan feels right for you. Here are the 6 questions you've got to ask. 1 and 2 we've covered. Check their methods and credentials. Number 3 is huge. How will you customize this for my dog? You don't want a one-size-fits-all plan. 4, how will we track progress? You want to know what success looks like. 5, get the cost details, all of them, including what happens if you have to cancel. And finally, number 6, what's my homework? Because the work you do between sessions is what really makes the training stick. Okay, so you've picked your trainer and the work has begun. Now it's time to take those new skills out on the road. And to do that safely and effectively, you need to know the local rules of the road and the best places to go. Here's one number every Chula Vista dog owner should have memorized: 6 feet. That's the maximum length your leash can be in any public area. It's a simple rule, but it's all about keeping everyone safe and in control. And speaking of rules, there are a few other important ones. Any dog over 4 months old needs to be licensed with San Diego County, and a rabies vaccine is required by state law. Oh, and here's a big one for being a good neighbor. Excessive barking can actually be a noise violation. That's definitely something a good trainer can help you with. Now for the fun part, where to practice. If you want to work on loose leash walking, the trails at Otay Valley Regional Park are fantastic. Need to practice your dog's recall off-leash? Discovery Park Dog Park is the spot. And if you really want to test their focus, take them to a busy place like Memorial Park and practice ignoring all the distractions. Each place is a new classroom. In the end, this is what it's all about: Finding that right trainer is your first step to having a dog who is confident and happy, which in turn means you're less stressed and happier too. We wish you the best of luck on this journey. A well-behaved companion truly makes everything better, from having friends over for a barbecue to just enjoying a quiet walk in your neighborhood.